Alright, things we didn't like. Simple things. First thing that I didn't like, rather bizarre, at the very end of the film, Harry's got the Elder Wand, and spoiler alert, go and watch the bloody film. Ron and Hermione start talking to Harry about the Elder Wand, and he snaps it in half and gets rid of it, and says, I don't want it anymore, I don't want to use it. And in the book, he fixes his own wand with it.
Yeah, so what wand is he using?
What wand does he use?
He's got...
19 years later, has Harry ever had one?
Yeah, you know, because Ollivander's gone and Gregorowitz is gone, two of the main wand makers in the world.
I suppose he's got Draco's one, but he fixes it in the book. It wasn't in there. Which is weird, because there was so much stuff they put in which they didn't need to. That was a basic thing they could have addressed.
Yeah, just fix a wand, throw it away.
Another thing, the scene where... Oh, this big spoiler. The scene where Harry dies, and he is, you know, has this sort of vision in his head of Dumbledore.
Oh, I hated it.
I didn't think it worked. It was way too short. The whole purpose of that scene in the book is to explain everything.
Pretty much, yeah.
That Harry didn't know, that we've all been asking, that we've all been wondering, and the scene in the film didn't do that at all.
Yeah. I think the key thing is that throughout this entire journey, when Dumbledore's dead, he didn't leave Harry with much. Like, Harry has barely anything to go on, Ron pointed out. You know, he didn't tell him how to destroy the Horcruxes. He didn't really tell, well, in the movie he only told him what one of them was, which was... No, he didn't tell him what any of them were. He didn't even know what they were. In this one, I hated it. He could hear them, when in the books, in the 6th one, he showed them loads more things. He said Nagini's probably a Horcrux, and there was a scene with Slytherin's locket and Helga Hufflepuff, and then Dumbledore said probably he'll have something to do with Ravenclaw or Gryffindor as a Horcrux. He didn't have anything to go on. So, but the idea is he's going to be alone, and then there's that whole book Rita Skeeter publishes, and in the first movie they talk about it a lot in the wedding. She says, oh, did you know Dumbledore at all? And he thinks, you know, I trusted this man, and he hasn't told me anything. I know nothing about his family. I know nothing about like where he lived, how he's grown up, anything to do with him in Grindelwald. And
they didn't touch on that at all.
No, they didn't.
In fact, they showed a picture of his sister, which is quite important in the book, because he talks to Aberforth, who's his brother. Yeah. And they explain nothing of it. And
they're just, oh yeah, it's actually your sister, isn't it? And Dumbledore sacrificed her, goes out, nothing more. So people who haven't read the books are probably thinking, oh, so Dumbledore kind of murdered, you know, sacrificed his sister, he's not a nice guy. And they didn't even fix that.
You'd think if they didn't talk about it then, they'd talk about it when Harry died, but they didn't. If they talked about rubbish, they didn't talk about it. There was all this moral...
Yeah, he kind of walked down and he said, yeah, he walked down and he goes, if anyone needs help at Hogwarts, they deserve it, or was like, what? What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know, and it didn't help that when you see this sort of like mangled Voldemort baby covered in blood.
And then some little kid goes, Dobby! It's Dobby! No!
No, it's not Dobby! You idiot!
Exactly, that's the thing.
Dobby's dead!
Pretty much. The only bit that did with Harry and Dumbledore was explain what everyone had already been told. The fact is, Harry's the 7th Horcrux. And a Horcrux like that's himself. We already knew that. He tells Snape, we watch it, we think, oh, okay, that's cool. Then Dumbledore goes, did you know when you were a boy? You know, we already know. You know, it's just it was pointless.
The other thing is like when
he looked like Gandalf the White. Like he did. He was all white. He was like, what's going on there?
When Harry finds out he's a Horcrux, or at least knows it from seeing Snape's memory in the Pensive, which, by the way, you've got your mother's eyes, Harry. You've got your mother's eyes. Oh, your eyes, they're green. They're green. Oh, let's have a look at your mother, shall we? In the past, she's got brown eyes.
Yeah, what's that about? Like Snape's dying. He goes, you've got your mother's eyes. And every movie, and in every book, and even like 3 times in this movie, they said, you've got your mother's eyes, and then his mum's got brown eyes.
Could have got a girl with green eyes, couldn't it?
How hard is it to find a girl with green eyes and dye her hair red?
Anyway, right, so, what was I saying? So Harry finds out he's a Horcrux after looking in Snape's memory, and in the book, he doesn't tell anyone. He just puts the invisibility cloak on, walks through the Great Hall, and goes to his death.
Because I mean,
and he realises, which I think anyone would, it would be so difficult to say goodbye. People wouldn't let you go.
Yeah, I mean, if you went into them and said, guys, you've been fighting for me for an hour, but I've decided I'm going to kill myself, so you kind of wasted all your time. You know, it's kind of like saying you wasted your time. It's kind of stupid. And I know they would have, Hermione and Ron would have in the book probably said, this is for the greater cause, but they wouldn't have just been like, oh, you're gonna die! Oh no!
They sort of let him go.
Bye bye!
It's sort of pathetic, really.
See ya! We're a couple now, by the way, you know. We had a snog in the Chamber of Secrets.
Never happened.
Yeah, that didn't happen in the book. I mean, it was a nice touch to see in the Chamber of Secrets, but I don't think they should have kissed there. The reason they kissed in the book is because of something, Ron mentioned something to do with house elves, and, you know, Hermione's really kind of against animal, like, house elf cruelty and stuff. but they never touched on that in the 4th movie, so you know, it's just irrelevant.
And it was just one of those things. It was, to be honest, the whole perception of this film, for me anyway, was it was good, but there was...
It was a good film, it wasn't a good Harry Potter film.
I don't know, there was a combination, there was loads of little...
things.
Errors, little
built up into this big bubble of disappointment, and you come out thinking, okay, so that was the last we're ever gonna... That's the last chance they're gonna get to make a good movie.
Mate, they put a load of little things that didn't work. Weird stuff going on with Snape and his memories.
He looked like he's Michael Jackson.
No, but Alan Rickman sort of... Well, Snape runs into the Potter's house and holds the dead Lily in his arms,
and the baby's
Harry's
like,
crying.
hello?
That was, I don't think that was ever in the book.
No, I understand he would have known, but I think it's a bit kind of disturbing that he would sit there holding the dead Lily and the baby's like, hello? I know, yeah, I mean, yeah, he loved her, but what, so he just gets out, leaves Lily on the floor, he's had his cry moment, and the baby's just like, oh, hello?
Waits for Hagrid.
Yeah. No, the main problem is the most important bit of the entire book is the final battle between Harry and Voldemort.
Oh God, yeah.
That, I'm sorry. They wanted to make it more Hollywood, okay? That's understandable. They had some weird thing when they strangle him with his robes. Kind of like a bit, when he's like...
Bondage.
And he's just like, let's go where we started, let's die together, or I don't know, let's do this how we started together, jumps off a building.
In daytime.
The whole point is it's at night, it's in the big thing, and they're flying around like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
And in the book, Harry does this massive speech about Snape, about just the whole most epic speech, and it was in front of everyone in the Great Hall.
Yeah, this is the fight of the century, this is the fight of wizarding history, and they're just in the Great Hall, 10 into 1. They would have watched, you know, they would have watched.
Millions of people built up to this battle.
People went to the cinema to see this. Billions of people are going to watch this over the next year or whatever, however it's going. Billions of people are going to watch this final, and they're going to watch it because they want to see the battle between Harry and Voldemort.
And
so
the thing is, Harry duels back as well, and Harry always knew he was no match for Voldemort. No one was a match for Voldemort apart from Dumbledore. That was the point. No one could duel him.
Yeah, and
he gets this 5-minute duel where all he seems to do is just block all Voldemort's spells.
And Voldemort's spells are all Avada Kedavra. And
Harry just
the key thing,
you can't
block the unforgivable curses. That's why they're unforgivable, because they're dangerous. You can't block them. You can't just that's why otherwise people would survive.
Although in fairness, he does have allegiance to the Elder Wand, which Voldemort.
Yeah, but that's what. And another thing, they kept doing green and red.
Yeah, they did that twice, and that was.
They did it 3 times actually. They did it on the stairs.
And it just. And that's just all it was. And then
it's trying to do like
it looked like Harry deliberately killed Voldemort with a spell, and in reality in the book it's Expelliarmus rebounds.
That's what I love. I love in the book he says Expelliarmus, and the fact is he kills them with. The fact that what happens is that because the Elder Wand doesn't belong to Voldemort, belongs to Harry, it can't kill its owner, so it rebounds onto him. It doesn't matter what spell. But the fact is, Harry used Expelliarmus when Voldemort came back to power in the graveyard, and it's just that
It's
thing.
not the most powerful spell, but it's the spell just disarmed. And
yeah,
and there shouldn't spell, and that's the key point that Harry doesn't go to kill.
And the only reason in the 4th movie, when their wands, the spells couldn't go past each other, was because they had the same core. They're using different wands. They're using Draco's and Elder Wands, so surely, no matter what spell it would be, they don't clash. Like in the real world, spells don't clash like that. I know Dumbledore and Voldemort have a clashing bit in the 5th movie, and it doesn't work like that. And you see like sparks come off. It doesn't look right. And then what happens? He goes, stops, and Voldemort's like, they then kill the snake instead of killing it when Harry comes back to life, which is Neville's meant to take it out and kill him. I think it was quite good actually having the 2 battles going on at the same time, but still a bit weird. So then he kills the snake, and then Harry goes, I can kill him now. But he doesn't kill him. Harry wouldn't kill somebody. Harry's never. And they miss out a whole bit in part 1 with Stan Shumpike. And the reason actually they know Voldemort when they're chasing Harry, they know it's him, is because he uses Expelliarmus because he doesn't want to kill one of the Death Eaters he knows is innocent. And they said, well, only Harry would use the Expelliarmus in this sort of situation. So Expelliarmus is Harry's signature spell. He's not a murderer. Harry's not a murderer.
But basically, before you get too angry with this, the point is, children, read the book.
You have to read
the book now. You will. The brilliant thing about Harry Potter is it's a huge, immersive world. It's not like Twilight in. I know Twilight was good, whatever. But it's not like, you know, our world with a little change. It's a completely different world.
It's amazing.
And if you read
it's
the
like
7
Lord of the
books,
Rings.
yeah, it's a whole world, and you immerse yourself in it. And honestly, the books are so much more than the films. The films are like a tiny window where you can look in, but if you read the books, you will just become immersed.
The doors will be open,
and it's fantastic. And if you please read the books, and then you will understand where we're coming from.
No, the thing is, you guys may be like, oh, it could take me a year, it could take you 2 years. It doesn't matter how long it takes you. The thing is, you will, if you're a proper Harry Potter fan, you will love the books. You can't not love the books.
It annoys us when people say, I love Harry Potter.
But you don't, because you haven't read
the books. And now, it sounds like we're being proper snobbish, but once you read the books, you
understand. You should understand.
So much better, as it is with all books, really, when you read the films, because it's a completely personal experience to you.
The key point is to read the books, and I know a couple of people who've seen the movie and actually preferred part 1. My key thing is, I don't know, and James, I know you said you had nothing to fault. I don't know how you can be satisfied. I know you have no explanation to compare it to, but that didn't close off the series. There's still so many unanswered questions about Dumbledore. And about a lot of things. There's so many questions that haven't been answered by that movie, and if I hadn't read the books, I wouldn't be happy with that, because it hasn't satisfied. I'd be like, what? It's like the end of the saga, you know, the best-selling, top-grossing saga in any film history ever. It's been going on for 10 years. That's not an ending for me. I'm sorry. I don't want to be an asshole, but you know.
You're a bit of an asshole.
Yeah, I am.
But enjoy the film. It's really good. And that's our rant over. Sorry, we've got quite angry.
But
more importantly, read the book.
I've seen it twice, and it's getting worse every time.
Cheers, guys.